Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. War of the Visions has been out for a full month, so I thought I would look back at it and then do kind of a more full review than the previous one that I did, which was just after 1 week. I'm still really into the game. I'm maybe even deeper into the game for all the same reasons as before. Like good just atmosphere of the game, cool characters, cool world, battles pretty fun, and then I really like the unit upgrade system. And then the story is maybe one of the more surprising parts of the game that I do like. It's not very deep or complicated like a console tactics game yet, but there are lots of kind of interesting characters with interesting relationships with each other, and most of the voice actors are very good as well. So I've been watching every story as I come across it. And actually I was kind of disappointed with the latest update that the story was advanced so little. But I'm looking forward to the option to rewatch the story. That's going to be here, I think. And that's surprising to me. Usually I don't give a fig for the story of mobile games, but this one's pretty good so far. Another surprise thing that I've been really liking is the guild. And then earlier this week the guild battle started. And then what that is that you join this guild. This one's called Bar Blizzara, and then here are the members here. And you set up your teams to go into battle. If we go over here to the right, then we can look at all of the teams here. And then mine is, it's usually the one with the highest magic, yeah. So that's my team. And then, when the time starts, you get all these guys here on the right, and then you can pick like from their list and then attack them. And you can collect stars, and then if you get more stars than the other guy, or the other team rather, then you get victory, and then you can raise your rank. We are Bronze 2 right now. That's an upgrade from Bronze 3. And then as you get higher in rank, your guild, you get more medals, which you can turn in for stuff. And then one of the things that I've been enjoying most is actually interacting with the other people in my guild. So there is just chat here. I'm the one with the yellow speech bubbles there. And yeah, it's been cool to kind of coordinate who attacks whom, reminding people to set up their teams. And yeah, as you can see, I've been pretty involved with communicating here. And I was actually offered a position as a sub-leader. That was very flattering, but I had to refuse because I'm not that confident in my Japanese to be in a leadership position. But yeah, it's been fun. One thing I've been hearing from kind of global players, I guess there is no such thing as a global player yet since the game hasn't been released in global, but they bring up that it's similar to Alchemist Code, like this is a negative thing. I've never played Alchemist Code, so I don't know if it's a really bad game or what. But playing this one, I think it's pretty fun. So if it is based on Alchemist Code, I think that's great. I think if you are playing Alchemist Code currently, there's no real reason for you to drop that and move to this, unless you love Final Fantasy. So, one thing though that I just realized today after playing a month is that actually the Final Fantasy-ness of the game, it's not that prevalent right now. Like there are a few characters like Yashutada, and then Thancred, and then like limited time boss. But for the most part, it's mostly original characters, mostly original world, original story. But nevertheless, I've been really enjoying the game to the point that I forgot this was kind of a Final Fantasy game. And I think that says a lot. Maybe if this game were not attached to the Final Fantasy name at all, I would still be really deep into it. It is really well done, really well put together. The Final Fantasy name, of course, is what got me into the game, so that's probably where it counted. It's really great to see kind of a big-budget, major publisher game that still kind of feels like a indie game. I mean that in the aesthetic. You look at the main series, the numbered Final Fantasies, and they're all very slick, and then kind of like futuristic or even like present day. But looking at the tactics games, looking at this War of the Visions here, there's more kind of like a hand-drawn feel to it, which I really like. And it reminds me of the old tactics in the old Ogre games, which is very, very cool for me. But as we move forward and we get more like Final Fantasy likeness in the game, like more units, more bosses, music, equipment, and everything, I think this could really like go beyond being a great game to being like maybe something transcendent. That's pretty optimistic, but I think the potential is there. Really good base here, and then you can put the Final Fantasy stuff on top of it, and then get a good product, I hope. And I think there's cause to be optimistic because the way that the game has been handled so far has been pretty good. There's been some hiccups with like some technical stuff, but things like speed of communication, the smoothness of everything else of the game, and then the generosity of the rewards and like compensation, and then also the free units. It's really generous and really solid. I think if Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is the only mobile game that you've ever played, then you've been deprived. You don't know what a good game experience is. So far, this War of the Visions has been a well-run game. And so has been some other games that I've played, like Dragon Ball Legends. That's a really well-run game, especially considering that they have global and then JP players all on the same server. Kotobuki, also really well done, and then Monster Strike as well. But yeah, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is in a league of its own. It's one of the worst run games I've ever seen. And not to dump on that game anymore, but for me, I stuck with that game probably longer than I would have otherwise, just because of the Final Fantasy name. But eventually the pile of crap got to be too high that I had to step away from it. But thankfully, the War of the Visions came around, and then this is my Final Fantasy mobile fix that I'm getting. So I'm very happy with the game here. In the last review video, I talked about like some things that were maybe worrying to me or like negatives. One was the hatcher rate. I found that it hasn't been that much of a deal because you're not going to be wanting to pull the hatcher too much anyway. Depending on how much money you want to spend in the game, you want to get one UR character or maybe like 5 for like whales or something. But once you get to like a team full of characters that you like, and 2 or 3 of them can even be like free characters like I have on my team, then you're not going to want to pull any more characters because you won't be able to level them up. The key to success with this game is to focus on a few characters and then put all your resources into them. So even if like you read the rates, maybe it's 2%, that's not very good for the rare characters. And then there's the rare cards mixed in there as well. But still, it didn't take me too long to get a bunch of characters, and now I have so many that I can't level them all up. So like Mashiri here, probably never going to use her. Same maybe goes for Erude, maybe Rob as well. But that's just how the game is set up. You can't do everything. The second thing that I was worried about was the grinding. I knew I was in a better place than a lot of players because I was used to manually farming the Earth Shrine. But it hasn't been that bad actually. And then they have some stages set up where you can farm very quickly. So let's go to one of those right now. Alright, so I got my team set up. I want these guys to level up a little bit. I have Yashutara there in the center with the witch sub-job so that she gets Faoru, that magic spell. Alright, we got it on auto battle. Alright, there goes everybody, and that is the stage. Alright, I get my experience, I get my level ups, I get my JP, and yeah, I can do that over and over if I like. Like I said before though, I think the key to success with the grinding here is to do something else at the same time while you're doing that, since it can take a long time. Another fun thing that I didn't anticipate enjoying at the beginning of the game was sort of like analyzing these free characters and then seeing if you can get the max of them, 6 stars and then 5 crystal levels, before their time limit is up. I went and I put in the effort to make the max of Yashutra, and that was one of the best decisions that I made. And then I also decided to skip Thancred, and then also Christmas Ramada here, and I think those are also good decisions. So, in conclusion, would I recommend this game? I would say definitely yes, maybe even stronger than the first recommendation I gave after a week. I feel like the deeper you get into this game, the more you can enjoy it. And then they're also really keeping true to the look, and that's pretty important to me. If they start introducing a lot of like sci-fi or like steampunk elements into this game, I'm going to be kind of turned off, but so far, pretty darn good. If you especially like simulation or strategy, or like games that focus on raising the levels of your guys, I think you really like this. Also fans of like the medieval fantasy would also like this, and of course Final Fantasy fans as well. Maybe one question that a lot of Brave Exvius players are considering is that if they should give up Brave Exvius in order to play War of the Visions. I would say go for it if you are tired of Brave Exvius. You might be tired of like the repeated like raid and then like King Mog events, and then you want something new. And then in a way, this game has a little bit more strategy to it because you have movement around a field, and then you have ranges for attacks, and then people act at different times depending on when their count gauge fills. So yeah, it's a different way of thinking. And then there are more multiplayer options in this game as well. So if you value that, that might be a reason to give up Brave Exvius. You also might be considering playing this game in addition to Brave Exvius. I think that might be doable, but if you want to do that, maybe play it on 2 different devices so that you can do them at the same time. Because War of the Visions can take up so much time. Okay, but I think that is the end of the review here. And then at the end, let's look at my units. Then just real quick, I'll show off my progress so far. First here is a Shuteru, and then he is the ultra rare that I'm concentrating on right now. He's almost at 6 stars. I just have to get more of these materials here. Maybe I'll be able to get it next week. We have some tickets coming where we can get many drops of these, so maybe I can do that. And then once he gets to 6 stars, I'll be able to access all of the abilities on the board. You can see that I have most of them here, but yeah, not all of them. And then here are the crystals. This is difficult, more difficult to get a hold of. But if I pull one more Shuteru from the hatcher, or if I buy a few more of his shards from the shop, I can get him to 3 crystals, which is very important because his job level will go to 12, and then I can get all of his skills there as well. Next up is Mediana. She's another ultra rare. I have her at 55, where she is perfectly usable. I use her in like arena and stuff. Her too, I need 2 more pulls in order to raise the crystal level, and then here I need some more blue stuff to raise her star level. I might keep her at the star level though, just because it is expensive with these rainbow orbs to level her up. Really, really good though. Next is Engelbert. I pulled him last week, I think. He was the last Hatcher character that I really wanted because he's the #1 tank in the game right now. Him too, I want to get him as high a level as I can. I think after I finish Shuteru, I want to bring Engelbert to level 99. And then him too, I just need a few more of these light shards. We can raise his star level. Ayaka, very happy to have her. She's maybe the most nostalgic character in the game right now for me. I still need another drop of her to raise her to crystal level 2. I think I'll leave her at 4 stars for now. She's perfectly good at level 50. And the game doesn't really call for healers right now at the moment, so yeah, I can afford to wait on her. Eileen, I think I'm going to ignore for now. I used her in the early part of the game until I got some better characters, but yeah, she's strong, but not my top priority right now. Next is Rob. I'm totally giving up on this guy for now. He takes light materials, and I want to save those for Engelbert, so yeah, not using Rob. Not using Edude either, although I'm finished with Yashutada, so I have some like fire materials just kind of building up, but even then, I don't think I'm going to work on him. Same for Mashiri. She also takes light, so I'm going to save her elements for Engelbert. And then Yashutada, I put in the effort to max her. She is great. Got her Trustmaster. She's my main farmer for easy quests. And yeah, very high level as well. And then Monto, he's the main character of the game. I also maxed him, and I also got his Trustmaster. He's pretty darn strong, and I look forward to making him level 99. And then Fina, she's another uncommon character, so it would be less expensive to level her up, but yeah, I don't know if I need her right now. And some other characters that I am not using. Okay, but that is the look at my box at 1 month in. I'm feeling pretty good about my characters, and I think my team is strong enough that I can go at least the next maybe half year without really needing to pull in the Hatcher anymore. Okay, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.